What if I told you that inside your body an extinct human is still alive? What if the blood in your veins carries fragments of Neanderthals, Denisovans, and maybe even a species we've never discovered? If that's true, then who are we, really? Welcome to Dark Prehistoric Secrets, the place where we uncover the mysteries buried deep in time and hidden within us. Today, we explore one of the most shocking discoveries of modern science, the truth that every human alive today carries the DNA of ancient humans long thought to be extinct. This is not just a story about the past. It is the story of you, of me, of all of us. So sit back, because once you learn what's hiding in your DNA, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. 60,000 years ago, our story took a dramatic turn. A small group of Homo sapiens left Africa. They were wanderers, explorers, survivors, but they were not alone. Across Europe, another kind of human ruled the forests and mountains. Broad-shouldered, thick-boned, with brains even larger than ours. They were the Neanderthals. And further east, in the shadows of the Himalayas, lived another mysterious people, the Denisovans. So little is known about them that their entire existence was revealed through a single finger bone and a few teeth found in a Siberian cave. For centuries, we thought these humans had disappeared forever, extinct, wiped out. But the truth was far more complicated. When our ancestors entered their lands, they didn't just fight. They didn't just compete. They connected. They shared food. They traded tools. And sometimes, they fell in love. Yes, love. Because modern science has proven it, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals had children together. So did Denisovans. These weren't separate worlds colliding. They were worlds merging. And the proof is still inside you. In 2010, scientists sequenced the Neanderthal genome. The results shook the world. Every human alive today outside of Africa carries between 1 and 2% Neanderthal DNA. Think about that for a moment. Extinct humans are still alive in us. Their genetic fingerprints carried through thousands of generations. And then came an even stranger discovery. In Denisova Cave, Siberia, a tiny fragment of bone was analyzed. It didn't match Neanderthals. It didn't match modern humans. It belonged to an entirely new species, the Denisovans. And here's the twist. Some people living today, especially in Asia and Oceania, carry up to 5% Denisovan DNA. That's not just a trace. That's a legacy. It means that when you look at a modern Tibetan villager or a person from Papua New Guinea, you're not just seeing Homo sapiens. You're seeing the echoes of another kind of human hidden in their blood. This changes everything, because the story of humanity is not one species replacing another. It's not a straight line. It's a braided river, a tangled web of encounters, unions, and exchanges that shaped who we are today. Imagine it. Two species meeting by the fire, sharing a hunt, exchanging knowledge, and creating children whose blood still flows in us. Our ancestors did not walk alone. They carried the memories and the DNA of the humans they met. And that DNA is still shaping us today. The ancient DNA inside us is not silent. It speaks, it shapes, changes who we are. When scientists began decoding the Neanderthal and Denisovan legacy in our blood, they didn't just find relics of the past. They found active instructions that still influence our bodies today. Let's start with survival. High in the thin air of the Tibetan plateau, people live where oxygen is scarce. For centuries, researchers wondered, how can they breathe so easily while others struggle? The answer came from ancient DNA. Tibetans carry a Denisovan gene known as EPAS1. It helps their blood use oxygen more efficiently. Without it, survival at those altitudes would be almost impossible. So every time a Tibetan climbs a mountain without gasping for air, they are echoing the Denisovans who gave them that gift. But not all gifts were blessings. Some came with a price. Take the Neanderthal DNA. Studies show it influences our immune systems, making us more resilient against infections. That sounds like good news, but there's a twist. That same DNA is linked to allergies, autoimmune diseases, even depression. In other words, the very genes that once protected our ancestors from deadly plagues may be causing modern struggles with overactive immune responses. It's a haunting reminder: what once meant survival can now mean suffering. And the surprises don't end there. Skin, hair, even how we feel pain. All of these have been shaped by our hidden DNA. One Neanderthal gene makes skin more sensitive to sunlight. That may have helped early humans in colder climates adapt to new environments. But today, it can increase the risk of skin conditions. Another gene affects how our bodies detect pain. Carriers may experience pain more sharply. Imagine your very perception of suffering dialed up or down by the shadow of a long-lost ancestor. Even our risk for modern pandemics may be tied to this genetic legacy. During the COVID-19 crisis, scientists discovered something shocking. Certain Neanderthal DNA variants increased the risk of severe illness, but other variants actually protected against it. It was as if the ghosts of Neanderthals were standing beside us, deciding in part who would survive. And here's where it gets stranger still. Hidden DNA also touches the mind. Researchers found Neanderthal genes connected to our circadian rhythms, the way we sleep and wake. They even discovered links to nicotine addiction and mood regulation. Imagine that. Your craving for a cigarette, your tendency to stay awake late at night, could be influenced by a piece of Neanderthal code quietly ticking in your brain. The more scientists look, the more they realize our bodies are not purely Homo sapiens. They are mosaics, patchworks, layer upon layer of ancient instructions. But here's the real question. If Neanderthals and Denisovans live on in us, then who are we really? Are we the last humans standing? Or are we hybrids, carrying within us the whispers of lost species? Some scientists now suggest that without those encounters, without the mixing of DNA, we might not have survived at all. The oxygen gene from Denisovans, the immune defenses from Neanderthals, these were not accidents. They were lifelines. It means our survival is not ours alone. It's a shared story, written by humans who vanished from the earth, yet remain alive in every heartbeat. And perhaps the strangest part is this: when you look in the mirror, you're not just seeing yourself. You're seeing the shadows of Neanderthals, the sparks of Denisovans, a hidden family coded into your DNA. The past isn't just behind us. It's alive, inside us. And what it's doing may shock you. So what does all of this mean for us? If the DNA of lost humans still lives within us, what future does it point to? The first lesson is clear. We are not alone in our story. Humanity is not a single, isolated species that triumphed while others vanished. We are a blend, a mixture, a living memory of every human who came before. And this blending is not just a detail of the past. It is a force that could shape the future. Because if fragments of Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA still guide our health, our emotions, even our survival, what other secrets lie hidden in our code? Some scientists now believe that within our DNA may lie solutions to diseases we still cannot cure. That ancient immune system, once a shield against plagues, could one day teach us how to fight modern viruses. The Denisovan oxygen gene, EPAS1, shows us something profound. It proves that genetic inheritance from extinct humans can provide superhuman abilities, a roadmap to adaptation in extreme environments. If it worked for Tibetans in the mountains, could it also help us survive on Mars, where oxygen is even scarcer? The possibilities are staggering, but there's also a warning. The same DNA that once saved lives can also cause new struggles. Allergies, autoimmune diseases, mental health challenges. The past is not just our strength. It is also our burden. So as we unlock the code of who we are faced with a choice. Do we see ancient DNA as a curse, or do we embrace it as a gift? And maybe the most haunting question of all, if Neanderthals and Denisovans live inside us, are they truly extinct? Every time you take a deep breath in the mountains, every time your immune system fights an infection, every time your body reacts in ways you don't understand, You are carrying voices from the past. You are proof that humanity is not one story, but many braided together. And so, the future of humanity may not be written by Homo sapiens alone. It may be written by all the humans who came before and who still whisper in our DNA. Because in the end, to understand who we are, we must first remember who we carry. This is the hidden DNA inside modern humans. A story not just of extinction, but of survival. Not just of loss, but of legacy. And the greatest secret is this: the past is alive, inside you, right now. This was Dark Prehistoric Secrets, where the past never truly dies. If this story shocked you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because in our next episode, we'll uncover the mystery of the first weapons, the tools that turned fragile humans into Earth's deadliest hunters. Because the past is alive.